How good was she? Yeah, Brooke is just such an athlete that she's been serving close to the line, and she really likes to hit that ball hard. And so in Nebraska, she had 4 misses, I think, against Nebraska in the 3 sets, and she's just too aggressive. So I made an adjustment with her and with Cameron Tassett to just back them up, so that she could just do what she does and not worry about it. And I didn't think it'd be that good. But yeah, she looked pretty comfortable back there, and those balls were humming. I mean, those are hard to pass. They're like attacks. So I was excited for her because I think there was 3 or 4 timeouts while she was serving within the match, and every single one of those afterwards was just as good as the other one, which that's really hard to do. So very impressive. That's a second ever most aces in a match in Oregon history. Lauren Westendorf, shout out to Lauren Westendorf, who had 12. We think in 4 sets. I think it's 5. Well, this is before rally scoring, huh? So this is rally scoring, pretty impressive. But Lauren Westendorf, number 1, Brooke Van Sickle, now number 2.
Wow.
How about that?
Go, Brooke.
Go, Brooke.
What does that mean to have that for opening your pole?
We started off how we ended, and that was pretty disappointing. Really just talking to our team about managing our risk better. We made a lot of unforced hitting errors last weekend against Nebraska and Texas, and we outdid them in every other statistical category, and that was the one that lost us the sets. So really big on these guys of that. You know, if it's not a great situation, there's something good we can do with the ball, other than just trying to get a kill and muscle our way through it. So I think we got caught up with Texas and Nebraska being so physical, and we're pretty physical also, but just trying to play that game. But we're also a very skilled team. And so I think the combination of the two is what's going to set us apart from other teams. So we just need to embrace that side a little bit more. And then you see when we drop the hammer a few times, wow, it's kind of eye-popping. Lauren Page had a couple of those hits. Lindsey Vanderweyde, Ronika has a couple. So I think we added more skill and just kind of well-rounded match for us. And that was exciting to see. I think we opened up in that first set. We had 7 unforced errors out of their first 8 points. And then we had 1 the rest of the set. And then none in the next 21 points. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? So good opportunities, let's take care of them. Bad opportunities, let's do something better with the ball.
Ronika, just talk to us a little bit about the chemistry and how it's developing. I mean, like I said, first set was a little shaky, but then it seemed like things started to click. When that happens, what's the sense of the conversation on the floor?
Well, the connection between setter and hitter is huge, and so just motivating your setter and your passers just to keep bettering the ball, and as hitters, taking advantage of the opportunities we have. You have a great opportunity no matter what kind of set it is, and so being able to deal with whatever you get. And so even on the bad sets, what people think are like, if you can put those away or do something with it, that gives confidence to the passers and to the setters, and then ultimately everyone feels comfortable with each other.
You said you were physical too. You thought that was a factor in that first set and you pulled away some of the blocks better conditions in there.
Yeah, I mean, I compare it to baseball, you know, where it's like if you just throw fastballs all the time, hitters are good enough that they're going to figure that out and start whacking it. So we have the ability to not only throw a fastball, but a changeup and a slider, and she can do all sorts of things. She's got a big, deep bag of tricks. So once we start getting them off balance a little bit because they don't know exactly what to expect, then all of a sudden you can catch them with a fastball and she hit her in the face. You know, I mean, different things like that. So I think that's kind of what I've been begging from us, right, since the alumni match, is to understand all the different skill sets that we have and use them. And that's how you keep teams off balance. And all of a sudden, Portland State wasn't so comfortable anymore once she threw in a tip and then we threw in a shot, you know, stuff like that. So that was really important for us, and I hope it's a lesson well learned right now, and we got that going forward.
Well, she did that on back-to-back points, and I think Lindsey did that on back-to-back points too, but she was powerful in it.
Exactly.
That's how you make it getting through.
Yeah, and I think the other big thing is we're a pretty emotional group, myself excluded. I'm not part of that. But
You're not.
okay, thank you. We're a pretty emotional group, and so when we get emotional, it's really hard to talk to our team about strategy, more of the intellectual side. And so I thought we were pretty emotional against Nebraska, and it makes sense. There was over 8,000 people, and there's a lot of pressure. It's sold out standing room only, so I could see where I'd get to. But we really want to be good, and I think that distracts us sometimes, as opposed to figuring out how to be good and how to score points. We will just want to score them. And so tonight, I felt like, other than even in the beginning, they started to hear me, they started to hear each other, and we were able to make some adjustments, and that was exciting to me. There was a play, back-to-back plays, where Ronika goes up and she hit the ball down the line and hit the girl in the face, and we got a point. And she looked at me, and I looked at her the next play, and I said, okay, what's going to be open now? And she said, drop tip, because there's no way that girl's going to come up the line when Ronika just clocks her, right? And so the very next play, August sets her, and Ronika drops it down the line for a point. You know, so that kind of strategy, I love that part of sports. And I think that's been missing from us since I've been here, of just being able to be less emotion and more intellectual. And I think if we start tapping into that side of us as athletes, and we're very experienced as a group. We're pretty old now, right? Not a lot of youngsters on the court anymore. And the 5 freshmen that we have, all of them were on top 10 club teams their whole career. I mean, so even the freshmen are very experienced. We need to start using that experience to our advantage as opposed to getting so emotional about it. So that was a really big step for us, and I hope that just continues.
Monica, you led both teams to kills. What was so special or different to you about tonight?
I think just realizing that you can't have the hero play every play. You're not going to bounce the ball every play, and getting over that, because I think during Nebraska and Texas, I wanted to be the hero of the game, and it's just volleyball is not the type of game, especially with the teams that we're going to be playing, like that you can't do that. And so just realizing that having the creativity in the game and being able to mix up my shots is what will ultimately get me to score. And then Matt was saying, like, I'll get the bounce balls on the overpasses and like save those. So I think really just keying into mixing it up and making the other side guess rather than them knowing I'm trying to bounce the ball every play, because that's easier to read than a tip.
That makes me so happy. Okay. Let's hope she believes that. Okay.
You know, that obviously wasn't Texas or Nebraska
Yeah.
or Minnesota or some people you're playing in the future. Did you approach this at all differently or worry more about yourselves?
It's a different challenge, I think, when you play Portland State. Portland State had 25 wins last year. And they bring back a bulk of their lineup that did that. So, I mean, it's a great match for us. Portland State's a very good team. They're different because they're not as physical, right? But they'll challenge your block more. So, again, like Texas and Nebraska, they play so high that our block never really gets challenged because they're playing over the top of our block. So it's challenging more of your floor defense. So tonight when you play teams that are a little bit lower, they're going to hit your block. And so if your block isn't solid, they're going to take advantage of that. So I thought it brought a different kind of challenge for us tonight of how good can our block be? They're generally good ball control teams, Portland State, and the teams we're going to play this weekend, they know how to pass the ball and dig the ball. They know how to serve the ball a little bit more, which generally the more physical teams lack in those skill sets. So it's just more of a ball control game. And so it's very nerve-wracking because it's just such a different style than what we just played last weekend. It's not a bad style, it's just different. And so how do we respond to that? And at the beginning, you could see how they could beat you. And if we were pressing and trying too hard, but we got in a groove. And Brooke Van Sickle's the reason. I mean, that first service run, all of a sudden, okay, we're okay now. And we got a little bit of a breathing room, and then we started being loose and playing. But no, Portland State's a very good team. They're going to get a lot of wins, but they're just a different style. Yeah. Yeah, Dave and even Ron is from SoCal. And yeah, Dave and Erica and I all coach at Long Beach State. And they're very good friends, and we talk to them all the time. And I recruited some of those players that are still there and coached some of the players. Erica coached a bunch of the players. So yeah, that'll be fun for us. They're a good team, and they're a lot better this year than last year. They had injuries last year, but they look healthy right now, and they're going to be a tough challenge. So you'll recognize one of their outsides from Arizona who transferred in, Tyler Spriggs, and she's a really nice player. They got transferred from Nebraska, who's a really nice player, Kashana Williams. So it's going to be a good opportunity for us to get a good win. And then we have Utah Valley before them. So those are two big opportunities for us on Friday.
Was your tenure there when you were development?
Say it again.
Your tenure there, what did you do as a coach and development?
So much. So, I mean, it's a different head coach now. So the head coach when I was there is Brian Gimolaro. I think he's the best coach ever in our sport. He's coached 3 of the top 6 players of all time, including Misty May, who's the best volleyball player in my opinion ever. So he was really fantastic. He taught me everything that I know technically of how to teach volleyball, how to teach athletes. Really grateful to him. I bounce ideas off him all the time. He's still my mentor. He's my first phone call. Actually, it's text, and I'm proud that he can text now. So the beginning of the iPhone with him was interesting, how to how to slide that open. But anyway, but yeah, no, it was a really important time for me, and I'm excited to see them in our gym. Oh yeah, I mean Erica's the biggest recruit I've ever gotten, and I've had some good ones. No offense, babe. Love you. Okay, and this is my first top 10 recruit, and Erica is amazing. And you can ask anybody on the team, but Erica just had her baby, Kaden, 8 days ago, and Erica's on the bench, and Kaden was in Lisa Peterson's lap to start the game. But she brings so much to our team. She brings so much confidence to me. We really balance each other out well. So we didn't have her this past weekend, but we had Sonia Newcomb, which that was really cool. And so we're just really excited to have Erica back. She's not going to travel to Stanford, Hawaii quite yet, but it's nice to have her this week for 4 matches.
Nice to have the girl.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.